Hi people, my name is Lulame and welcome to week 5 of the Master Key system. Geez, week 5. Can you guys believe we're already at week 5? I don't know where the time is going, it's just... For those of you who've just stumbled upon this video, hi, welcome. Thank you, Algorithm Fairies. The Master Key system is a 24-week study series on using the power of your subconscious mind to manifest the life of your dreams. And so videos for week 1 through to 4 are available. Please feel free to go check them out. Okay, let's jump in. So this chapter is all about the creative mind. By the end of the week, you'll have some experience in using your mind creatively. Actually, we're always creating with our mind, but most of us don't do it intentionally. The main idea for this week is that mind in action is thought, and thought is creative. I know you've heard this before. Hannel repeats himself a lot throughout the book, but it's on purpose because repetition leads to understanding and learning, because when our conscious mind receives information again and again and again, it begins to accept it as true. So once the conscious mind accepts something as truth, it then gets through to the subconscious mind, which passes the information onto the sympathetic nervous system, which brings all our beliefs into physical manifestation, which is kind of exciting. Okay, well, I find it exciting. So I'm sure you've all heard the statement that we only use 10% of our brain. That statement isn't entirely true. It's a little bit misleading because it implies that we're only using 10% of our whole brain, where the truth is that 90% of your mental activity is subconscious. Therefore, the other 10% is conscious. The 90% of subconscious activity never actually stops. I think what that statement is hinting towards is that we don't consciously use the 10%. The Master Key system is teaching us how to intentionally use that conscious 10% of the brain to harness the 90% of the subconscious. I like to think of my conscious mind as being the army general, and the subconscious mind is made up of these intense, highly skilled SAS soldiers that make everything happen. And they're programmed to never fail or miss. They will do what they need to do. All right, so it's our job to keep an eye on our conscious thoughts. Many people never consciously create their reality because they just don't even know or believe that they can. And so what happens is we end up living our lives as passive recipients of whatever comes along. When the I, the real I, that's the awareness that we talked about last week. When the I is not present, the conscious mind is just passively receiving a lot of its information from all sorts of places, mainly from heredity, your parents, your grandparents, the social norms. And this means a lot of what we do and experience is the result of the environments of all the past generations and the societies that we live in, which is great if you live in a great environment and everything was awesome, but not so great if it wasn't so awesome. The law of attraction is always working, guys. It's bringing to us what we are, and that is the past thinking of conscious mind. Hannel says that the thoughts that we entertain are the material used to construct our mental home. And we are asked the question, what is the quality of the materials we're using to create this precious mental home? Which is really, let's be honest, it's the foundation of our lived experience. Just think about how much time and effort and planning goes into building a regular house. So much preparation, planning approval, drawings, there's meetings with architects, drafters, this calculations, all this stuff needs to be done before even the first brick has been laid on the ground. We're living in a time where we're being constantly bombarded with information and programming. We talked about this last week. These days, it's just nonstop. How often do we stop and examine the information that we're receiving? Do we ever do that? Whether it's conversations we have with people, casual gossip, little phrases and sayings that people repeat as if they're the truth, the opinions of the random good people of Facebook, or even an episode of Married at First Sight. All this information is going towards building your mental home. And this is the home of the most powerful. It's the seat of consciousness. It's where your subconscious army lives. It's the channel through which the universal mind expresses itself. It's huge. Okay. All this talk about homes reminds me of that little parable about the wise man and the foolish man. And the wise man builds his house upon the rocks, and it's a firm foundation. And the foolish man, he builds his house upon the sand. And when the rain comes, the sandy house gets washed away. There's actually a little song about it that we used to sing at Sunday school. I found a reggae version of it on YouTube, but I digress. It's actually kind of cool. The master key system is training us to be discerning in what we allow to take root in our minds, so that we're building a mental house on foundations of truth, love, and abundance. And these beautiful materials that we use in our mental home will then be reflected in our lives, because all life and power comes from within. So what we let inside becomes reflected to us later on. Lastly, the condition of having this power is use. The truth is, if you don't use it, you lose it. So, for example, if a power lifter doesn't use his power, he loses it. He needs to lift things and continue to lift it. The bank that doesn't lend money out will go broke. Okay? Power depends on use. Hannel says we lose the power, but that's not to say that the power is, once we lose the power or we've lost use of it, it's no longer there. The power is always there. It will always be there. But if you are not personally using it, then it becomes available for other random people to use for you. So you might end up in a situation where you're living a life that's not your intentional life. You'll live someone else's intentions. The advertisers on Instagram's intentions. Okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to live our best lives, and we're going to create it. Okay, that's what we're going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So that leads me to the exercise for this week. It's a creative one, which is exciting. So every day, go to your usual spot, and for 15 to 20 minutes, think of a beautiful place, right? Create all the details of this place. If you want to add people that you care about, friends and family, into this scene, do so. It needs to be something that makes you feel fantastic. It could be actually a memory of something you've already experienced before and it brought you great joy, or it could be something you're wanting to experience. I'm personally going to be visualizing my dream home. I've got lots of imagery that I've been collecting over the months. Put in as much detail as you possibly can. Think about the sounds, the smells, the colors, the feelings, the sensations. Paint it as vividly as you possibly can. All right. Picture the same place every day for the next week. Record anything you notice. It might actually help for you to write it all down first before you visualize it. The way I'm seeing it is try and make it as much like a dream as you can. I don't know if you guys have ever had those dreams that are so vivid that when you wake up, you're kind of a bit shook. You're like, oh, like it felt real. Try and make it like that. So when you open your eyes after the 20 minutes, you feel like you've been there and you've had a great time. Do that every day, 15 to 20 minutes. Have fun with it. Go nuts. Detail, 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 detail. See how you go. All right. it's the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and thanks to all the new subscribers. Guys, if you do like the video, please give me a thumbs up. It just gives me an indication of whether or not you're enjoying the content. I'll still be making it regardless, but the thumbs up just helps me. It encourages. All right, I hope you have a wonderful week. Do good things, look after yourself, and happy manifestation. Thanks. Bye.